I'm honestly kind of surprised by this, but Rise of Skywalker is still struggling to hit that $1 billion mark. I thought it would have hit it by now, but it seems like it is really having a hard time hitting that mark. The Rise of Skywalker seeing significantly high drops in attendance. Maybe they should start calling it the Plunge of Skywalker instead. Following a massive opening weekend, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker has seen a significant drop-off in attendance over the following weeks. While the movie is still a huge blockbuster that's slated to shoot past the 1 billion mark soon enough, it could still be looked at as a troubling trend for the once dominant franchise. And there's absolutely no doubt about that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about the fact that it is a very troubling trend for a once dominant franchise. This franchise has done nothing but continue to go downhill. And that's kind of talk more so with Star Wars under Disney, obviously. But there, you can't deny it, and anybody who does deny this is just absolutely flat out denying reality. The pick dropped a cringeworthy 59% from its first to its second weekend, followed by a whopping 81% in week 3. In financial terms, this means the latest entry in the series fell from 177 million domestically in its opening weekend to only 72 million domestically the next. That's more than $100 million drop off, with the third weekend only pulling in 33 million, which is just insane. The fact that Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, which was supposed to be the Avengers Endgame of the Skywalker saga, only pulled in 33 million this past weekend. That's not good. That is definitely not good. It's worth noting that the film is still a mega hit for Disney. I wouldn't really say that. And I think I saw even a report that they haven't even made back to enough to cover the costs of what they had to put in to buy the rights for Star Wars and stuff. Like, they still haven't even made that money back. And I assume that they probably were relying on that to happen by the time Rise of Skywalker came out, with The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. I'm sure that all three of these movies, they were planning on making around the $2 billion range, and it's absolutely not happening. It didn't happen at all. Obviously, Force Awakens hit $2 billion, and then The Last Jedi came out, and it had a really good opening weekend for the most part, but that drop off after that was significant. And then we saw the same thing happen with Rise of Skywalker, where Rise of Skywalker, even in its opening weekend, didn't make nearly the same amount as The Last Jedi or The Force Awakens. So, you know, obviously this whole franchise is just in a really, really bad place right now. We all know why. It's under Disney. It's under the rule of Kathleen Kennedy, the guidance of Kathleen Kennedy, and she's doing a horrible job at being a leader when it comes to Star Wars at the time being. And this plunge is not entirely unusual, especially for a movie in this particular intergalactic franchise. Star Wars picks have a history of falling off at the box office every week, since fans have a tradition of all coming out on opening weekend. The Last Jedi, for example, dropped a Zaftig 67% between its first and second weekend. Look, I don't think that's just because everyone went to go see it in the first and then its opening weekend. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that people just realized immediately that this movie was crap. And so they were like, yeah, don't go see this movie. I'm sure that the word of mouth probably wasn't the best when it came to The Last Jedi, and I'm sure that all had an effect on this movie as well. Then again, this is definitely not what the studio was hoping to see, and it doesn't look like The Rise of Skywalker will come anywhere near The Force Awakens in terms of total box office gross. Not even close. This movie's not going to get any... This movie isn't going to be in reach of touching what The Force Awakens made. This has to be a bit of a disappointment, too, considering that the last movie in a trilogy typically sends fans flocking to the theater in massive numbers, especially when you claim that this is like the epic conclusion of the Skywalker saga. You would think that would be a pretty big deal, but no one cares. Regardless, the film's far from a flop and will likely be one of the highest grossing releases of the year. Still, it has to be a bit of a concern that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker fell well short of expectations, and no doubt Disney are now rethinking their future plans. Oh, they absolutely are, 100%. And as you can see here, the drop-off, even on Monday, was 67%. Of course, that's coming from the weekend and stuff, so that makes sense. But, you know, there's a lot of red going on here, and there's a lot of big numbers in the red as well. You know, there's 27% and 45% and 67%. So it's not going well for Rise of Skywalker at the time being. It still hasn't made $1 billion yet. This is from let's see, January 6th, so Monday. But since Monday, it's only made 927 million worldwide. So it hasn't even hit $1 billion yet, which is crazy. It's crazy to me. But anyway, with that being said, let me know in the comments below what you think. What do you think about Star Wars Rise of Skywalker struggling to hit $1 billion? I think it's well deserved, but let me know in the comments below what you think, and I will talk to you all very soon in another video. Talk to you later. Bye.
Hey everyone, it's Jeremy from geeksandgamers.com, and if you're a fan of Geeks and Gamers, please go to our website, visit our merchandise store. We have t-shirts, hoodies, hats, beanies, tank tops, and in the very near future, we're going to have many more products for you to choose from. So thank you for the support. We appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and we will talk to you later.